Hello, I want to cover a number of subjects today, so this could turn into quite a bit of a mishmash, but this is mainly for people who are new to gardening. You may be gardening for the first time, or you may be coming back into gardening. We're all under lockdown, we're all social distancing. We've got lots of time to spend in the garden. We've got to ride this one out, haven't we? Okay, right, let me tell you what I've been up to. Yesterday I planted out some onions, some leeks and some celery. These are the onions that I planted out. As you can see, these are the ones that didn't make the cut. These ones are still in this yogurt pot. These are the leeks. Got lots of leeks left over. Okay, we don't want to waste those, and we don't want to waste those onions either, and we're not going to. And this is some celery, and I planted some of these celery plants out yesterday. So we've got the leeks, the onions and the celery, we've got them on the go. But let me just show you this. Some eagle-eyed viewers spotted this when I done my yogurt pot garden video a few days back. Have you noticed that this yogurt pot has got quite a few holes drilled in it, up and down the sides, apart from in the bottom, the drainage ones. But I've actually tried to turn this into an air pot. Okay, that's just a standard yogurt pot. That's a yogurt pot, air pot. The only reason these two vegetables are in different pots is because it was whatever came to hand. This was something I done a couple of years back, and I posted a video. I'm going to give you the title now, but I'm also going to put that title on this table at the end of the video in case you want to watch it. And that video was called Upcycle Yogurt Pots into Air Pots / Root Trainers / Air Pruning Experiment. So I'd done an experiment last year with air pots, and what I did was I had some spring cabbages that I'd got given, and that was in the autumn of the year, and they normally go in the autumn of the year, and I was a wee bit worried that there was club root in the bed. And the best way to beat club root is to have a big root on your cabbages before you put them in. On your brassicas, a big root system, the bigger the better. And then if it does get club root, it can still produce a decent sized vegetable. So I made some of these air pots, potted the spring cabbages into the air pots, and then sometime later transferred them into the raised bed. But what I was able to do was take one out of this pot, the one that hasn't got the holes in, and stand it, and take one out of this pot that has got the holes in and stand it, and you could do a comparison. You could see the root systems and you could make a comparison. So if you want to see if these things work, or at least if you want to see the results of that experiment, you'll need to go to that video. And as I've already said, I'll put the title on this table when we get finished. Right, that's air pots out the way. What we're going to do now. Tell you what we're going to do now. So we've got these left over, haven't we? We've got onions, leeks and celery left over. Now, if I've got a spare bucket, but I haven't, but if I had a spare bucket, I'd plant these guys up. All my buckets are full now, but in a couple of months' time we'll be taking the early potatoes. I'll be emptying those buckets out and I'll be taking early potatoes. and in a couple of months time these will be that much bigger, and they really want to be out by then. So I posted a video on this subject some time ago, and that one was called How to Grow Potatoes Then Leeks in the Same Pot in the Same Year in Recycled Compost. And basically what I did was I harvested the potatoes by turning the bucket out. I reinvigorated the soil with some fertiliser, popped it straight back in the bucket, and planted some onions up, planted some leeks up, planted some celery up. Now okay, we're part way through the growing year when this happens, we haven't got that much time, but leeks and celery will grow on into the autumn months, and you can get the leeks through the winter months. So that gave me an opportunity to grow 2 crops in the same year, in the same soil, in the same bucket. Hey, that's got to be a win-win, hasn't it? That's got to be a win-win. So if you've got any of these guys left, if you've started some and you've planted some and you've got some left, hang fire, watch that video, see how I done it. You might want to give that a shot. What do you think? It's worth a go, isn't it? Right, let me put these to one side, and we'll get on to carrots. So we've done, what have we done? We've done upcycling yogurt pots into air pots, and we've done grow leeks, then grow potatoes, then leeks in the same pot, same year. Yeah, we've done that. So we've covered 2 subjects there. Let's get on to carrots. Okay. There's lots of information on these packets, on the reverse side of these packets, and one of the things it tells you is that carrots take between 14 and 21 days to germinate, 2 to 3 weeks to germinate. So when you put them in, you're not going to see anything for 2 or 3 weeks. Right, you got that? 2 or 3 weeks. Let's have a look at this. Okay, that's what a pot of carrot looks like after a day. That's what a pot of carrot looks like after 2 or 3 days. That's what a pot of carrots look like after a week and a half. There's nothing to see. Are you looking at your carrots day in and day out? Are you popping your head over and looking at those carrots day in and day out? Have you ever heard the expression, a watched kettle never boils? Well, here's another one for you. Watched carrots never germinate. Stop looking at them. You're frightening them. You're popping your head over there, looking at the soil, as much as you say, where are you? Have I made a mess? They should be through by now. No, they shouldn't be through by now. Packet tells you 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, now then. When I sowed this pot of carrots, and if you're a regular of mine, you've seen this dozens and dozens of times, but if you're not, you haven't. It's just an old piece of mesh cut off. Small container with some water in. Matchstick. Sow seeds. It's dead easy. Okay. And to get a firm surface, this is the base of a 10-inch pizza polystyrene base. If you're growing in 5-gallon buckets, you probably want a 12-inch pizza base, but these are 10-inch buckets, and this is perfect for me. Just gives you a nice flat surface. But if you want to see me using all that equipment, there's another video I'm going to recommend, and that one's called HGV, How to Grow Carrots in a Pot, Start to Finish, Organic Carrots in a Bucket. Watch that video, you'll see me use all that equipment, you'll see me sow the pot with seeds. Let me just move this to one side, and I would recommend you get yourself something like this to water your carrot seedlings with when they first come through in 2 to 3 weeks. Don't put that watering can over them, you'll wash all the seeds to one side. Having just made the effort to try and sow your seeds thinly, you're now going to spoil it all. So don't do that. Water spray is the thing for starters, and as the carrots get bigger, well, you need to give them more water. Now let me show you this. And I've got to say, I'm quite pleased with this. Hey, how about that? There is not a single carrot in there shoulder to shoulder with another carrot. I'm guessing there's about 50 carrots growing in there now, and this is after 3 weeks in the bucket. So this is what your carrots are likely to look like after 3 weeks. And so I spray these regularly. And if I were to get 50 carrots out of this bucket, which is what I estimate are growing in there, well, I'll be over the moon. I'll be over the moon. I think I'll probably get something less than that, because some of them might not make it, some of them might bolt. But hey, it's surprising what you can actually get out of a very small bucket like this, providing you put the effort in. And what else have we got to do? We can't go out anywhere. What else have we got to do? Put the effort in. Put the effort in. Hopefully you'll get a pot of carrots like this, and hopefully you'll get a pot of carrots like the pot of carrots I got in that start to finish video. Okay, let's move this out the way. Let's put some titles on this table. Okay, here's the first title, and this is the one about making your own air pots. Upcycle yogurt pots into air pots, root trainers, air pruning experiment. How to grow potatoes, then leeks, in the same pot, in the same recycled compost. How to grow carrots in a pot, start to finish, organic carrots in a bucket. Okay, so you've watched this video. If you've got to the end of it, you've now got 3 more to watch. Hey, you don't want to be watching TV, do you? It's just more and more gloom and doom. Just the one subject. It's all about people dying, isn't it? So what we need to do is stay safe. Stay safe. Stay in your garden. Social distance. Wash your hands. It's not a lot to ask. It's not a lot to ask. And hey, grow some decent vegetables. Okay, come back to me later on in the year. I want to hear about your successes. Come back to me here at Homegrown Veg. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.